Hi, happy 2020. Yeah, I am a little bit behind on starting my months this year. I have a plan for each and every month, and January is always refresh. I always want to refresh everything. And what I'm starting off with first is to refresh all my technical stuff. We gather up so much technical clutter throughout the entire year, and it gets kind of pushed aside because a lot of it is busy work and you just don't get to it. But I think this is a perfect time of year to clear out the old stuff, put things in files, get rid of old files, etc. So what I normally do is first with my computer, which I usually use my laptop, I have all sorts of things that just junk up the desktop, files and things I've downloaded throughout the year that I don't need anymore. So what I do is I go into every single thing. I go into my downloads folder, I go into my desktop, I clean and clear it all out. Absolutely everything I can find, any files, apps that I've used that I don't use anymore, just get rid of them. There's no point in having them. Just try to do a whole entire computer cleanup. And also for my email, there's so many emails that come. I want to make sure I just get rid of all my junk email, all my trash, empty my trash. That's just a wonderful feeling. You just clear up so much space when you do that. There are so many emails that I get that I don't want to be getting on the regular basis. If I order one item from, any company, I can think of one in particular. If I order one item from that company, you have to put your email address in there in order for them to, have that in case there's a problem with sending it and let you know when it's on its way and so forth. However, you do that and then you get an email from them at least once a day. It's crazy. I know you've experienced this too. So since that happens all the time and Christmas just happened with a whole lot of online ordering, I'm sure you're getting bombarded too with a ton of emails that you just really don't want or need. So what I do is I just take some time to go through for like a week. I just go through my emails every day, and when I see one I don't want to be receiving every day, I just instantly go down to the bottom of it, hit the little thing that says unsubscribe, do whatever they tell me to do to unsubscribe, and it's good. Many times it won't actually unsubscribe for a while. I mean, it takes, some time, sometimes a week, sometimes 2 weeks, sometimes 2 months, but I just keep with it. I just keep with it until I don't see their emails every single day. And it's a little bit tedious, but it's worth it because who wants to sift through 100 emails from various stores that you shopped in once over the holidays, delete unused files, all sorts of things. Once you've cleaned up your desktop, this is something I recently learned, and you probably have already known this. If you have a Mac computer, you can use this thing called Stacks. And when you have your desktop pretty much organized the way you want it and just gotten rid of all the things you don't need, go to View and then hit Use Stacks. It's easy to undo, but just give it a try. Use Stacks. It all goes into folders. Nicely arranged. You can find things. It's perfect. It really is nice and it really helps. So I have done that. And then you want something from that stack, you just click on the folder. It opens all of those things up for you and you use them and you can put them back away again. And I have been trying to learn to use that more often because it is a much, it's a more convenient way of finding things once you have a whole bunch of things on your desktop. So I've been enjoying that. And then it's easy to undo. If you decide you do not want it, go back up to View and click back again on Use Stacks and it'll go away and everything will clutter back up like it was. I usually know where things are even if it is cluttered, but The other thing that I do that takes a lot of time is to go through my photos. All of my photos that I take on my phone, and I even have my husband sort of download his onto here. So I kind of take care of the family photos, videos, family trips, movies, that kind of thing. And that takes up a lot. And I'm so worried though that now that I don't really print things out into photo albums like I used to when the kids were babies and so forth in the 90s, what's going to happen to all the photos? It's so easy to have your phone break or, completely lose information or forget what file you put them in. SD cards can get lost and that was your, family trip stuff. It's just too easy to lose things like that. So every year, at least once a year, I really try to do it more often than that, but it gets away from me. I go back in, I go through all of my photos and I have to go through and, I delete a whole bunch of stupid things that I've just, so, when you take a photo of some crazy picture or a goofy looking something and you send it to your family members and you guys have a cute laugh over it or whatever. I don't want to save those for the end of time. I really don't want my great-great-grandchildren looking over my photos someday in some old file and seeing some, I guess, embarrassing things. You know, recipes I've clipped from a place and, you know, sent to my sister via picture, things like that. I have to go through and get rid of all that first. Then once I've gotten rid of all of that, I go through my photos, my actual photos. And, you know, many times when it's a birthday, you'll take 5, 6, 10 photos of that same person, you know, standing there holding their cake or whatever, just to get the right photo. You don't need 15 of those. So you just kind of have to sift through, find the best 1, 2, or 3 of the 15, keep those, get rid of the rest. So then I go through all my photos and do that. And yeah, it is tedious. I really wish I would learn to do that more monthly, like go through my phone and, you know, and I try to make it a habit to do that. Like if I'm sitting waiting at a doctor's office or something, I go to my phone and I try to like delete the things that I do not need. So that's one of the things that I do definitely at least first time of the year, you know, first part of the year, I try to clean that up. And then once I have it all cleaned up, I want to make sure I have it saved. And I'm neurotic, so I want to have them saved in a couple different places. So not only are they saved to the cloud into Google Drive, but I also have an outside, I'm pointing at it like you can see it, you know, external hard drive thing. Yeah, that saves everything, so that's good too. Plus, I also have this memory stick thing that I stick in my phone if I want to save those for certain areas. So I just have ways of saving them. So if one thing dies or gets lost or whatever, we'll have another backup. Yeah, so that's how I do that. Like I say, it takes time and so forth, but it's so worth it. So you don't have to stop and think, where are our pictures from our trip to Wachawachahuki? On my cell phone, on my phone also, which I'm recording on right now, so I can't show you in my hands. But there are apps that I've seen, you know, to try. I've seen like, oh, try this app, it's great for this or whatever. And you try it for a few days and you don't really like it or whatever, and you go on with your life. Well, that app is still sitting there. And so I have pages and pages and pages of apps. I definitely have gone through them and gotten rid of the apps that don't work for me, that I just don't really use. They're redundant. I have 3 different ones for reminders and lists, you know, stuff like that. I just get rid of those things. I don't want them. And it's harder to find the pages of, you know, go through the pages to find the ones I do want. And then I've also kind of rearranged and I make my pages more prioritized. First page, of course, are the items that I jump on first. Second page would be my next most popular things that I, you know, want to grab and push on for things that I use all the time. And then try to group the things that are similar together also. It's just organization of my pages for my phone apps makes a huge difference in how I find things then later on. And then clean up everything you can. Delete old stuff in there. Go through your music. There are probably some songs that, you know, they just sort of like, okay, I remember that. I loved it at the time, but I don't really need that in there. You know, that kind of thing. I deleted a lot of songs. I had so much music on my phone. Some of it were from my kids, like when they were in middle school. I'm like, why do I still have this? They don't listen to it. I don't listen to it. What's the point? So I got rid of all that. Felt so good. Oh, like old contacts. Go through your contacts. There are doctors in there that you don't go to anymore. There are, you know, people, dry cleaners, whatever. People that you aren't in contact with anymore. Someone who painted your garage 7 years ago and you know that he doesn't do that anymore. You know, stuff like that. Get rid of those contacts. You don't need them anymore. And that just feels so good. So that's another thing that I always do. And photos for sure. Definitely get rid of photos, old files, anything like that that you see that you just don't need. And just delete apps. I love doing that. It makes it feel so good and so fresh for the new year. And then another thing I do that's kind of tech related is that I go through, you know how on your, I don't even know what it's actually called. It depends, I guess, upon your device or your cable service if you have cable. But basically, I go through where we have our shows pre-recorded. So there are shows that they, you know, whenever they come back on, the next season happens or whatever, they are set to record immediately. So I don't miss something, you know, like the Great Food Truck Race or something that I'm not going to see that's coming on again. But I enjoy it. So if it comes back on, my thing knows about it and it just starts recording it, that kind of stuff. I went through mine the other day with my husband and we're looking at each other like, holy cow, that has been off the air since 2013 and we still have it, you know, in the queue for, you know, recording it if it comes back on again. I really don't think Stacey and Clinton are coming back with What Not to Wear. I really wish they would, but they're probably not. So, you know, we need to get rid of that, and we did. So just things like that to clean out, clear up, make space, get rid of the old. That's what I'm talking about. But you just sort of do it in bits and pieces. You can sit watching TV at night and go through photos while you're, you know, have a TV show or something on and you're going through your photos and deleting and whatever. You can do it, like I said, when you're waiting for something, for an appointment, on your phone, just in bits and pieces. It gets a little overwhelming if you try to do it all at once. And it takes a very, very long time, depending on how much, you know, you have that you need to get rid of. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you because it's something I like to do every January. And January is all about refresh for me. And I have a lot of things I'm refreshing. And I'll come back with a few more before the month is over. So anyway, thank you so much. I'm sure there are several other tech-related things I've not even thought about. And I probably will as soon as I stop recording. But if you have something tech-related that you like to clear out and undo and freshen up for the year, let me know. And I will probably end up doing that too. Thanks, guys. I'll talk to you later. I've got work to do. Bye.